The last action camera I've used before making this video is the GoPro Hero 8. That was launched somewhere in 2019, right around the time DJI came up with its first action camera, the Osmo Action 1. Since then, there have been a lot of incremental updates in the field of action cameras. There's a lot more competition now. And when you combine these years of incremental updates, you are supposed to get a well-refined product. Is that the case with the DJI Action 5 Pro? Well, that's what this video is about. Hey guys, I'm Saurav. Welcome to the channel. So good to see you guys. In this video, I'm going to test the DJI Action 5 Pro in different conditions and also compare it with the GoPro Hero 13 Black and figure out which is the ultimate action camera. Excited? Without wasting any time, let's get started. Disclaimer, DJI did send me the Action 5 Pro to test it out, and this is not a sponsored video. All my opinions in this video are 100% honest. First things first, this camera is really tiny. It's even smaller than the GoPro Hero 13. In terms of build quality, I cannot say one is better than the other. What I can say, however, is the displays on the Action 5 Pro, they are the best displays I've seen on any action camera till date. I've shot with these cameras in different lighting conditions, and while I was shooting, I did not know how the videos would look side by side when I bring them back in the studio, but just comparing the displays, the Action 5 Pro looked much better. Talking about video, this can shoot at 4K all the way from 24 FPS to 120 FPS. And I say all the way because you get all the FPS options you need. One advantage, however, the Hero 13 Black has is it can shoot at max 5.3K resolution, unlike the 4K on the Action 5 Pro. Yes, the extra resolution can be handy, especially if you want to crop it in post. But personally, 4K is more than enough for me. One pro tip, do not use the slow motion mode. You will lose audio and you will lose stabilization. If you want to shoot in slow motion, use the 4K 120 FPS option and later slow it down in post. You get audio and you get stabilization as well. You're welcome. Where the Action 5 Pro really shines is low light. Even though it has a smaller body, it has a larger sensor than the GoPro. Straight out of the camera, the DJI footage looks much cleaner and sharper. The GoPro has a lot more noise in the shadow areas and the textures are not that sharp. Even if the lighting condition was terrible inside the metro station, I think the Action 5 Pro did a fantastic job. You can improve the software, you can improve the image processing, but you just can't beat hardware improvements, and the Action 5 Pro's sensor is a proof of that. In fact, I would not mind a slightly larger action camera with a 1-inch sensor. That would be a game changer. There's also Super Night mode, which is supposed to produce better low light footages since it uses AI noise reduction algorithms. Personally, I'm not a fan of it. It looks over sharpened and doesn't look natural. I would rather prefer shooting in standard video mode and later processing it myself. The GoPro tends to prioritize shadows more, and that can result into blown out highlights, whereas the Action 5 Pro tends to shoot a bit darker video, protecting the highlights. It is a personal preference at the end of the day. I prefer the slightly darker video because if you lose details in highlights, there is no way you can recover them. Your boy tried go-karting for the first time, and I thought this is the perfect way to test out an action camera. To be honest, when I look at the footage now, I am kind of impressed. The place was not well lit and there's a lot of movement, but the footage looks good for an action camera of this size. Generally, the issue with action cameras in low light is that you see a lot of motion blur due to the slower shutter speed. That is not the case here. If you pixel peep, you might see a bit of noise in the shadows, but nothing that cannot be fixed in post. By the way, please don't judge the way I'm driving. It was my first time. With a bit of practice, I'm sure I could beat Lewis Hamilton as well. Okay, let's get back to reality. Both these cameras can shoot 10-bit log videos, which is great if you color grade in post. Comparing the log videos straight out of the camera, the GoPro looks much flatter with less contrast and desaturated colors. And if you think this is a bad thing, it's not. It's exactly what we want as filmmakers. The flatter the videos, you get more control to enhance it in post. Another pro tip, if you want the highest quality from your Action 5 Pro, go to settings, bitrate, and choose the high bitrate option. It shoots at about 90 megabits per second compared to the 55 megabits per second if you shoot in standard. If you're considering the Action 5 Pro for vlogging, which is actually quite a good option, one of the things to focus on is audio quality. This is a quick little microphone test. I have my Action 5 Pro to the left, I have my GoPro Hero 13 Black to the right. Obviously, I can't listen to the audio right now, so I don't know which sounds better. Probably you would be able to tell in the comments below. But there's a bunch of cars going around, there's a bunch of people walking around, so you would get an idea about how the noise reduction sounds like. If you want to level up your vlogging game, I would definitely recommend you to use an external microphone. The external microphones are obviously going to sound much better than the internal mics, no matter what camera you use. Right now, I'm using the DJI Mic 2 and it pairs wirelessly with the Action 5 Pro because of the DJI ecosystem. That's great. You can also see the audio monitoring levels in the front screen. That comes in pretty handy. Good. I actually intended to shoot a lot of videos outdoors for this one, but I could not, so you will see a lot of videos shot indoors as well. And that's because it's minus 10 degrees outside and you can see the snow behind me. It's cold, it's almost peak winter, and I don't know about you, but I hate recording videos outdoors. I prefer shooting videos indoors where it's all cozy and warm, but I'm still doing my best. At least what you can do is like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This is by far the most convenient vlogging setup I have used. No wires, no adapters, and you can connect two DJI mics simultaneously. Another nice little addition in the Action 5 Pro is the 47 gigs of internal memory. Now I know 47 gigs doesn't sound like a lot, but it can be quite handy. You cannot be completely dependent on the internal memory. You do need an external memory card. But at times where the memory card gets full, or maybe even worse, you forget your memory card, which for a person like me, it happens quite often. This can be pretty handy. To conclude the video, I have to say DJI has done a really good job here. Nothing wrong with the Hero 13, but the Action 5 Pro is better in a lot of different areas. Personally, I don't use a lot of action cameras for the kind of work I do. I tend to prefer using mirrorless cameras, but for those kind of shots where you can't use a mirrorless camera and you need something compact, something weather resistant, I think the Action 5 Pro is the way to go. This is definitely going in my camera bag. That's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think about these cameras in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.